I don't know if you can hear that, folks, but that's my chair. Well, I'm having too good of a time down here. Film Brown coming at you at the movies with film. Down here in the vault, and I think vault, we've been kind of struggling over what this place really is that we're in. It's a vault. Smokey, get a grip. It's a vault. We can't call it anything else. It's a vault. And it's a perfect place for this kind of production that we're going to be showing you tonight, a 1972 Spanish film. Now, they wanted me to do this in Spanish, but me no speak Spanish.
It's a lair.
It's so whatever. Okay, our film is Horror Express, directed by Eugenio Martin. Yeah, that was good there. Yeah, thank you. Eugenio Martin is a film that is a director who is pretty well known for working in the Spanish cinema. This is one of those multi-lingual films in a way. It's got a lot of Spanish cast. It has a lot of cast also that is of British origin and American origin. We got Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing eating up the scenery in their typical ways. Kind of interesting. This is just 5 years for Lee, just before, not Lee, but Cushing, before he goes into doing the first Star Wars film. They do a nice job. They play rival archaeologists on this train. It's sort of like a Murder on Orient Express. That's why it's got that Horror Express thing. Christopher Lee plays this, archaeologist guy, like I was saying, who finds out in Siberia somewhere what he thinks is the frozen missing link. But what it turns out to be, is a whole different story. And I really can't go into that because I would destroy this film. If I just went by the box description, that was enough to lure me in, and that film just sucked me in. This is a really scary movie. And funny in places, too. You got zombies. A lot of zombies in this film. You got some really nice thing done with people's eyes. Keep an eye on the eyes, man. This film is full of eyes. It really it does some nice stuff with that. They can read history through people's eyes. People's eyes do some wacky things. The beast that eventually gets loose on the train and starts killing folks, Agatha Christie-like. Who did it? Okay, is got this eye business going, and then it's sort of leapfrogging around with eyes. Another guy who's in this, of American origin, American Greek origin, if you will, is Telly Savalas. Now, near the end of this film, Telly Savalas comes on. He's sort of a big Cossack guy who leads these Cossacks onto the train to sort of, solve the problem. And he's sucking on this cigar. This is made just a year before he went in to do the Kojak stuff. Remember? Who Loves You, Baby? Right? And he always had that lollipop in his mouth going. Well, he's got a cigar going in here, and he plays his wisecracking type of guy in here. He's really Kojak-like. I'm starting to think that maybe Horror Express is where he kind of broke that in. Didn't wear detective garb. He had Cossack garb on. But certainly there was this he's kind of Kojak-y. And he's got some cool stuff that happens to him along the way, too. Some great special effects in here. The music in this film is very haunting and eerie. Kind of a whistled theme at times. Sometimes they play it on the piano. This guy named Kakafis, can't pronounce his name, John Kakafis, wrote the theme for this and does a really nice job. This guy named Mendoza plays this monk in here. He's sort of a Rasputin type of guy who seems to kind of forget what side of the bread the things are buttered on. Okay, he's a big holier-than-thou type of guy at one point, and then he does some wacky things. Keep an eye on that monk. He's worth the price of admission as far as I'm concerned. He's cool. I really enjoy him. The film was written by this guy named D'Asso, who also worked on Psychomania. We've seen that. Likewise, this guy named Zimet, okay, who you'll see under the credits. It's a guy named Julian Halaby. He also worked on Psychomania. He did Crack in the World. Likewise, now, I'm not sure if I believe this, but I was looking through his credits, and it also said that he worked on the Strawberry Roan for Gene Autry, and he also worked on Hell Dorado, okay, for Roy Rogers. If anybody knows other than this and knows better than me, shoot me an email. I'd like to know. That's a weird mix, but of course there's weirder mixes out there, right? Now I'll tell you, there's nobody on this film, as far as I know, who worked on Mesa of Lost Women. But there should have been, okay? Because they would have worked in here real well. I think that's sort of the lingua franca of badness. But this is a good movie. My wife and I were sitting down to watch this thing, and we were really sucked into it. Really found it to be a great deal of fun. The Spanish seem to have something with eyes. You know, if you know any of those Blind Dead movies that they made, okay, where there's the sort of the Knights Templar riding around on horses, they're skeletal guys. They got the strange eyes and things. So I don't know what is the Spanish in their eyes, but it's a nice kind of a thematic touch. The film kind of reminds me of a Spanish version of The Thing, or The Thing set on a train. Remember in The Thing, they find that thing in the Antarctic that's frozen and take it, becomes sort of a shapeshifter. Say no more, say no more. Can't go any further on that because I'll blow the whole thing for you, if I haven't already. Well, think you're going to enjoy this film? Eugenio Martin, Horror Express, 1972. Think Smokey will go out of this one singing my favorite song lately, Eldorado, Eldorado, roll 'em Smokey, Eldorado, Eldorado.